Welcome back, Insert Community Name members. I hope you guys are having a good day or night, wherever you are. I hope you're having a good one. Today, I want to talk about some misinformation, or I guess misunderstanding the general COD community seems to be dealing with ever since the COD Vanguard Alpha, and because the beta is starting this week, or probably has already started by the time this video comes out, I think this is a good time to go over it. So, I actually saw this tweet from Charlie Intel. Everyone commenting that Vanguard looks like Modern Warfare. Yes, that is what happens when the game runs on the same engine. The engine they're referring to is the IW8 engine, which is responsible for Modern Warfare and by extension Warzone. I saw tweets like these in the replies, so it will play like trash. Good to know. I then saw this article from Game Rant, and Jesus Christ, if this doesn't tell you the absolute horrid state of gaming journalism in the year 2021, I don't know what will. The pros and cons of COD Vanguard using the Modern Warfare engine. So the pros listed come down to graphical fidelity and gunplay, which, okay, but the cons listed are attack sprint, mounting, and movement, which, that's not the fault of an engine. So F for research right there, Game Rant. So there seems to be, again, this general lack of understanding as to what an engine actually does or is responsible for. So let's do our best to clear that right up. Also, if you do happen to go on to enjoy this video, maybe drop a sub, drop a like, join the generic community, and with that out of the way, let's get on with the rest of the video. So first, let's clear up what the IW8 engine actually is, because there's still some misunderstanding with it, surrounding it, whatever you want to say. It's technically not a brand new engine. See, Infinity Ward actually had their Poland studio dedicated to rebuilding the engine because, well, over the years, with different iterations of the engine bringing new features, those features were essentially bolted on or implemented haphazardly. Because let's be honest, these Call of Duty games don't have the most amount of time to be built. It got to the point where there was just simply too much tech debt that the engineers couldn't properly scale and modify their game in ways that a modern day game engine should be able to. But at the end of the day, the IW8 engine shares the foundation of engine iterations before it. Think of it like a home from the 1950s being remodeled and renovated to be up to today's standards. There's this whole article on the engine that I'll link in the description below. Also, for a while, Treyarch would use the IW engine. COD 4, World at War, and I think Black Ops 1 all ran on the same engine iteration. The split occurred with Black Ops 2 when Treyarch took the IW3 iteration and made some heavy modifications to it. An upgraded version of that engine was then used in Black Ops 3, and then for Cold War, Treyarch took the Black Ops 3 engine version and added upgrades and tools based on the work that Infinity Ward did for IW8. At the end of the day, every iteration of COD's engine stems from IW2, which was a modified version of id Tech 3. Yes, the id Tech 3 engine, which is responsible for Quake 3 from 1999. Hopefully all of that I just talked about made sense. So now let's clear up this whole Vanguard engine situation. So right off the bat, a game engine isn't responsible for the features a game has. Things like mounting, lack of red dots on the minimap, tactical sprint, all are creative decisions made by the lead in charge of multiplayer design. You could, in theory, remake all of Cold War inside that Modern Warfare 2019 engine. In fact, there's a team using Black Ops 3 to remake Modern Warfare 2 on PC. That doesn't mean that it's going to be Modern Warfare 2 with jetpacks. In fact, Fortnite and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order both were made on Unreal Engine 4, and those games cannot be more different from one another. CSGO and Titanfall both run on the Source engine, but again, super different from one another. What an engine is responsible for are things like lighting, texture rendering, physics. So the way light reflects off of wood that's like on a door, or for example, here on the shotgun, you can see the wood grain. The way a grenade bounces off a table or wall, or the way smoke from a barrel of a gun interacts with the light around you is handled by the engine. So for example, look at the way the light interacts with the brick texture on the wall. I mean, you can see each little pockmark or crack in the texture. It's actually pretty well done. Look at the way the light reflects off of this vehicle down here, and the way it casts shadows, and the way the soldiers have their shadows cast while walking and running. That's the kind of stuff that's determined by an engine. But things like reload animations fall on the animator to give it that feeling of weight. You can port the animations of Cold War into Modern Warfare and they won't feel like the ones from Modern Warfare. In fact, go watch the video talking to the animation director at Infinity Ward for more insight. Again, linked in the description below. But like, see how there's that feeling of like weight when it's being reloaded? You can kind of see how it's being put in. that's the kind of stuff that falls on the animation, not the engine. Again, how loud footsteps are, for example, is a creative and balanced decision. How beefy the gun audio is, that's on the audio director. But if you're talking about audio fidelity, so how crisp it is, that's on the engine. Things like movement speed, sprinting speeds are decisions made by balance teams and those in charge of multiplayer. Gunplay, again, something that's adjusted. Things like colors and visuals aren't dictated by a game engine. If a map is dull and gray, that falls on the artists. If a game has bad visibility, that's a responsibility shared between those in charge of lighting and the artists. The main point is, if you don't enjoy or like Vanguard for things like its gameplay or its look and feel, the engine isn't to blame. Those are decisions made by the balance and creative teams. Have a problem with its hit detection or inconsistent audio like people experience in Warzone, like sometimes there's no footstep audio, that's an engine issue. So I hope this has cleared up any misunderstandings the community seems to have with how IW8 plays into COD Vanguard's gameplay. So share this, use it in internet arguments online. I don't care. It's been real, it's been fun, it's been real fun, and I'll see you next time. Peace.